here. Let me just check one more time. So here we go. We're gonna get things going, and let's see who we end up taking here. And I'm gonna tell you guys what I think of each one. So let's get things going. Let's draft. All right. So the Jags are on the clock here. Hang on. So again, here's a team each team needs here and whatnot. So it's pretty easy. Let's see. I don't know how to use this. We'll resume draft. Is there a little guy? All right. So Jags, it's a given. Pretty easy. Trevor Lawrence is probably going to be the number one overall pick. I think that's a given. So we'll throw Trevor Lawrence on the board here. At number two, with the Jets, I think if San Francisco wanted to be at number two, they would have the Jets would have traded, and if they would have been okay with what they got, but they traded away Sam Darnold. I don't think that they'll take anybody else but a quarterback. Based on this situation, I don't see anybody trading in this situation either. So I think it's been pretty much of a given. Zach Wilson at BYU, really good player. I think going to end up being probably around the next Aaron Rodgers. I think, in my opinion, really stud, really good player here. All right, so then going back here. All right, so then we have San Francisco back on the clock here. Man, they traded up. There's a lot of debate. Who's going to be taken? Is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Trey Lance? There's a lot of different places and people that could go here. I think I personally like Trey Lance better than Mac Jones. I think if everyone was hyping up Tua coming out of college and whatever, he had all those receivers. Mac Jones was something similar. I think Trey Lance has a lot more upside. I think Jimmy G might get traded in this draft. He might not. I think if they take Trey Lance, they'll hang on to Jimmy G and let him play a little bit next year. But oh man, this is a tough one. I'm probably going to be. I got a 50-50 shot, to be honest with you, but I think I'm going to go with. I think Trey Lance is going number 3. I think everyone says Mac Jones, and that, but I think they're going back and forth. I think Trey Lance is going to end up being the number 3 overall pick out of North Dakota State, which is awesome for FCS football, and for them. So then next, I think if you're sitting there with Atlanta at number 4, man, wouldn't it be? I understand they're probably going to end up trading Julio. I think I saw the reports out. Probably after June 1st, they're going to trade Julio and see what they can get for him, but they can't afford to have him on the team just because of the cap space. I think that's going to be a really big. So it really opens up. I don't think anybody's talking about it, but it really opens up the door for a receiver. They still have a lot of money in Matt Ryan. I understand there's a new coach, new GM, a new staff. I'm just curious to see what they end up doing. This could go a lot of ways. They could go tackle, they could go tight end, they could go receiver. In my opinion, the best player on the board is probably Kyle Pitts. They lost Austin Hooper, which really helped them do well in what they're doing. But I think Calvin Ridley's a pretty good player. So I think they could go. I think they would probably go around an Alabama receiver. I could see Devonte Smith being taken in this situation, Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts. I could see a quarterback taking. Not a big fan of that, but I think they're going to end up going with Kyle Pitts at the end of the day. I think it's a once in a lifetime generation. Around there, I just don't know if I can get myself to have Atlanta take a quarterback. I understand they're saying, "Oh, we'll never be in this situation again. Might as well take a quarterback." But I think you got to ride with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's still a very good quarterback. So, I don't know if they're going to be able to renegotiate Julio's deal, but I think they need another weapon, which I think Kyle Pitts in this situation is the best bet. So this is where also the number 3 where it gets interesting. I think 4, 5, 6 will be another very interesting situation. The Bengals, man, do you protect Joe Burrow? You got Jamar Chase is off the field. If Kyle Pitts is at number 5, do you take Kyle Pitts? Man, this is just there's so many different ways you can go with the Bengals and what they're doing. Personally, if they're going to go to tackle, I think Slater is a better tackle than Penny. Sewell, just my opinion. I think Penny is a very good. I think he'd be a better right tackle than left tackle in the NFL. So I think if you want to go with that, I think he'd be a better run tackle than a pass blocking tackle. So I mean, you got to protect Joe Burrow. He's came off an injury. You would think so, but I mean, you got the best receiver on the board in that situation. But I think what it comes down, you had the number 1 overall pick. You're up here at number 5. I think from where they're picking again, they won't take another tackle. So I think you got to go with Penei Sewell here. Even though I wouldn't mind Jamar Chase because getting those two back together, the band back together, as they say. But again, it's draft night; anything can happen. So I think Penei Sewell is the next pick here. I think. So now you're at you're Miami. I think the chances of Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Miami all have a chance. I think all 3 of those might get some calls, and there might be some trades in that scenario. I think I could see with Baltimore having their picks, them moving up into, for them, because with Lamar, and they're going to be making the playoffs every year, so they won't be anywhere farther than probably the lowest they'll be, excuse me, is 20. So I believe there might be some trades in here. There might be some people the Broncos might trade up to see if they can get a quarterback, which I don't think would be a smart thing to do, but you never know. But I think at number 6, if we're going with no trades here, number 6, I think you got a great defense. You have a good offensive line. Man, you got another draft pick later in the draft here in the first round. So I think with that, you got to go with the best receiver, in my opinion, in this situation. You got to go with Jamar Chase, even though I think Tua threw to Devonte. He maybe have some more chemistry, but I think Jamar Chase is a little bit better. I could see him going either way. I'm kind of torn in between, but I think Jamar Chase is your best bet for Miami at number 6. They still got the best, I think the best receiver in their opinion, which who they're going to take. That's why they dropped out at number 3. So here at number 7, now you have a new coach, right? You got Goff. I mean, there's just so many holes on this team. You could go receiver, you could go corner, you could even go quarterback if you wanted to. I think in their situation, I just think there's too much money invested in there, but you just never know. They could go tackle as well, as high as number 7. Man, this is a really tough pick. I think personally, I think you got to go. We got to put at least you lost Galladay. I'm not sure if they lost Marvin Jones, but I'm pretty sure they did. So that receiving core is really hurt. You're up at number 7. You're probably going to be back here again next year, most likely. Even though I really like Motor City Dan Campbell with the Biden kneecaps and what he was talking about in the press conference. I think he's a great players coach that a lot of people are going to want to play for. He's going to have to change a lot of culture in Detroit, but I think you got to end up going with Devonte Smith in this situation. I have him graded higher than Waddle. Waddle has the speed. I personally, being a receiver, I don't think weight matters as much as people put into it. If you can play football, man, you can play football. So I think at number 7, Devonte Smith is probably the line's best choice. Like I said, they could go tackle if they want to here. Wouldn't mind that. They could go corner, but I don't think I have a corner rated that high. If there was a better, higher rated corner, I would go with that. But I think Devonte Smith is going to be an all-pro receiver for a little bit in the NFL. All right, so Carolina is sitting here at number 8, and I've heard a lot of talk about a lot of different stuff. One, taking another quarterback, and I could see that. A very aggressive, like I said, they said really aggressive owner, a really aggressive GM, and coach. So I think they could go quarterback and they could go Justin Fields. I think if they were to pick one, I think it would be Justin Fields in that scenario. But I think at Carolina, man, you got Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. You know, I think they need to either go, you know, defense here, which their struggle. They had a good pickup, and I think it was in the second or third round with Jeremy Chin, who was on the all rookie team. Played really well, really good safety for them. I could see them going Sertan or, you know, there Horn, or maybe they could even go with Farley. I think would be another good pick at number 8. But I think in this situation, I think you got to go with I think you got to go with Slater here. I think you if you want I think if you want to do I don't know. There's so many different ways. I think if you want to if you think you believe in Sam Darnold, I think they'll pick up his 5th-year option. Like he's got a couple weapons, with McCaffrey. I mean, you need more firepower because that defense is just tough. So I think you got to go with Slater here. I really like him. He's a really good tackle out of Northwestern. I think that's your best bet for them. Let's look at their team needs before we finally make that pick here. So Carolina quarterback, they don't need one really. Corner, offensive tackle, safety, linebacker. I think going with the tackle here would be probably their best bet in this situation. So I'm gonna go with where did he go? Slater here. All right, next one. My Broncos here. Broncos probably need a quarterback. Um, man, I could see again, guys. I think Mac Jones will probably end up being taken in the first 10 picks. I'm not going to have him in my mock draft, but it's only because somebody will come in and I think they'll come and trade for him. Just because I think Atlanta's going to get a lot of calls, the Bengals and the Dolphins, even I think the Lions and Carolina will all end up getting calls from teams like I think the Eagles will maybe look into do it. I could see the Patriots possibly. I could even see the Raiders possibly doing that. Even like I know the Washington, Chicago, man. Um, I think with that, let's think here. I think I think those are the teams that are going to be looking to move up and get a quarterback in this situation. So be on the lookout for that. I think. So going back to Broncos taken here, I think the Broncos need. I need a linebacker. I need a quarterback as well. Like I said, I'm not high on Justin Fields. I think he's better than Mac Jones. I'll give him that. Mac Jones, I think, is being hyped up, and I think that's what the 49ers want to do. By ended up taking Trey Lance. That's why I took Trey Lance, just because, man, I watch Mac Jones and I don't know. His accuracy is good, but man, I see a lot of these guys who are in the NFL and they're big arm, big, strong, accurate guys in the NFL. I just don't think he'll be a great. I hope he's a great player, but I just don't think he will be. But I think at the Broncos here, their best bet, I think, is they don't need a corner at all. Like I said, they need an edge rusher, most likely. Actually, they don't really need an edge guy. They got Chubb and Von Miller that they'll be doing here. But I think a linebacker is their best bet here. Maybe a quarterback later in the draft, or maybe somebody next year in free agency. I'm not a big Drew Lock believer, but I think in the best situation here, I think the best bet's Micah Parsons. I understand his stock dropped because of all the allegations and stuff, what he did at Penn State. Hopefully you can teach that and have him mature a little bit. I think he's a little immature for his age, but I think, he's a fantastic player. He's he ran a 4, I think 3 or 4.4 at his pro day. He's just a guy who's all over the field and just an athlete in general. I think you can do a lot of stuff with him. And I think the Broncos need somebody like that in their defense. And so I think Micah Parsons is the best pick. Now the Cowboys are sitting there, man. I think the Cowboys, again, just like last year, I think people are going to drop to them just because I think a lot of people are going to take quarterbacks. And also I think people are going to take needs over best players. And the problem is with the Cowboys last year is don't get me wrong, they took CeeDee Lamb, who I think is going to be another great, fantastic NFL player with those 3-headed monster there, or 4-headed monster with Zeke, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb, and with Dak as the quarterback. The question is going to be, is Dak going to be able to start off the season with his injury and whatnot? Hopefully, it seems like he's doing well recovering. But here at number 10, man, they probably need defense, man. Their defense is just horrendous. They probably need a corner. I could see Jerry Jones is a big Alabama guy. I could see him going with Surtain or at the Horn or Farley again. I think those would be the best bet here. I think for the Cowboys here. I think I think they're going to end up taking Surtain. They did really well versus the receivers this year. And I think about it, he was practicing with Devonte Smith and Jalen Waddle and all these other guys who he's been constantly practicing against. So I think they're going to go with Surtain. I think he's going to be an all right corner. I don't think he'll be anything special, but at number 10, they need secondary help big time. I think they could go Micah Parsons, to be honest, if the Broncos don't take him, just because they lost Sean Lee. And I think that they've put a lot of money into the linebacking core and it hasn't worked out for them. So Surtain will probably be the group that they'll take here. It'll be interesting to see. Now the Giants, that, again, guys, there could be a lot of teams that trade up. I could see the Raiders trading up here before Philadelphia. I could see the Patriots trading up again before Philadelphia, or even after Philadelphia, to move up to take a quarterback. So again, be on the lookout after 5 through 15, even 5 through 17. No, I'd say 15, maybe even 12. Be on the lookout for a trade up, a big trade up for a quarterback, or even a trade for a receiver. Somebody who, like the Giants here, who want to take a receiver, seeing like either the Broncos or even like the Carolina dropping back a couple spots just to know that their guy's going to be there. And I think them trading up to get either a receiver or a corner, I think this is when they're going to start. Once one goes, I think they're all going to start to go. But also a quarterback, man. Once one goes, I think they're all going to start to go. So I think here at number 11, the Giants need help on offense. I like what Joe Judge is doing for what he did, what he turned something into nothing last year. Even with Saquon hurt, I think they do need somewhat of a defense, but I think he does a really good job in learning from Belichick and having a great game plan here. Like I said, I could see them taking another corner based on what they need. I could see them, maybe possibly taking a tackle. I could see them possibly taking a linebacker. There's a lot of different ways they could go here. But I think when you lose guys in the receiving core with Jalen Waddle on the board, I think you got to take him. A lot of people have him graded very high. I'm not so certain on him. I'm very certain Devonte Smith and Jamar Chase are going to be very good receivers in the NFL, but I'm not sure about Jalen Waddle. But I think at 11 here, I think this is what you're gonna have to take, because I think if you let the Eagles take him, they're gonna probably take him. So I think they got to know that, hey, we got to take a receiver here. So they'll go with Waddle here. Here at number 12, man, this is just the Eagles are a very interesting group. New coach. GM's just a mess. The team's just, in my opinion, is just an absolute mess, man. I think Jalen Hurts, needs help big time. They could go with, Christian here from Virginia Tech, offensive tackle. They could go, man. They could go a lot of different places. They could go with Vera Tucker out of UC or Southern Cal, USC, man. But they could go Bateman here, even a receiver. Again, once one receiver goes, man, they're all going to start going. But, man, I'm going to go with a little wild card. If Mac Jones is on the board here, I don't think that they'll take him. I think if Justin Fields drops to him, I 100% think they'll take him. I feel bad for Justin Fields because I feel like, and I feel bad for Jalen Hurts. They're two very talented guys, but I think this is going to be the wrong position for both of these quarterbacks to be put in. Very talented, very lively, very athletic, making plays, very just good football players. And I think, man, they're not set on. I'm telling you, they're not set on Jalen Hurts, man. They want somebody going in there compete. I mean, they even talked about with Flacco coming in to compete. I think Fields, man, they're going to take Fields here at 12. I mean, it's going to be dumb in my opinion because they need so many other things. I think, like I said, they could use a linebacker. They could use, the kid out of Georgia. They could use the kid out of Miami to help with that edge rush and just have so many holes on their defense. But you know what? I just have a feeling that the Eagles are going to be dumb, man. They're going to take a quarterback and they're going to, take Justin Fields here. So that's what I think here. Now here at number 13, Chargers again. Like I said, if Fields doesn't go there, man, there are going to be a lot of calls here to 13 for the Chargers to see what they're going to do. And again, the very talented team, very talented defense, which just underperformed, in my opinion, very underperforming. They have all these very good athletes on their defense. I just don't think they need any sort of corners or safeties just because of how many athletes they have on their team. I could see them going with I don't think I could see them going with an edge guy. I could see them going receiver here if they want one. They could go with again a receiver here. They lost Hunter Henry, so they need another piece in the middle of the field. Again, way too high for anybody else to be taking, but they, like I said, they need an offensive tackle, and so I think they're going to go with the kid out of Virginia Tech, Christian here. So I think that's a no-brainer, just because of, that's the need, and they need to protect Justin Herbert because sometimes, man, he was just running for his life last year. So I think that's a no-brainer here. So the Vikings, man. Defense, man, they need defensive help. I think if any sort of the corners are going to be there, Horn and Farley, I think they're going to take them. I mean, they need to. Mike Zimmer is a big defensive guy. I could see him, I think, I don't know how to say this, Orwasu, kid out of Notre Dame, very fast. I think he's a very similar grade to what, what's his name? A kid who hurt his knee, who went to Notre Dame, who's on the Cowboys, who just got paid. And so I think that I think he could possibly go here too as well. So I think Jalen Horn, or even I believe here as Farley could go here as well, who I really like. Horn just tested really well. But I think he's going to end up going here before Farley will. So I think I'm going to go with Horn here at number 14, just because of the grade they probably have on him, and they need defense. They got burned last year in the secondary. They still have Harrison Smith, so I think that's what they're going to go with here. Now, 15, this gets interesting. Bill Belichick never really tips his hand, never really says anything about what they're going to do. If Mac Jones is on the board, I don't know. I just have there's no hints. There's no. I think they need a quarterback, in my opinion. Excuse me. Jeez. But based on needs here, running back, corner, receiver, quarterback, linebacker. They did have Damian Harris come on, I think, pretty strong last year, played well. They lost James White. He didn't play much of last year just because of, I think, his father. He had some family incidents and stuff like that. So I think they're okay at running back. Corner, I could see them shopping Stephon Gilmore possibly, but I think they're okay at a corner. They could take somebody there if they really want to. But I could see them going linebacker here, man. Think about with Judon and with what's his name? The guy from Miami. I can't think of his name off the top of my head as we're currently speaking. Van Noy, that's his name. Van Noy on the edge here. So they got two great outside. I don't know if they're going to play a 4-3 or a 3-4. They'll probably end up playing a 3-4 with those guys. But I think with those guys being there, they need a nice speedy linebacker. They got Dante Hightower, but imagine having another freaking piece in there. So Owasu would be a freaking fantastic. I could see them going Barrymore with out of Alabama, who has been very highly graded. They lost what's his name? Malcolm Brown from a couple of years ago, which they really need to help out with the run game with the Patriots. So I think in this situation, I think it's either Barrymore or I think Owasu if they get an opportunity to take him. Like I said, they could take Mac Jones. I don't know. I don't really know at all, to be honest with you. So I think they're gonna go with Owasu. I think with Hightower and him, and imagine the crazy amount of stuff they could do sideline to sideline with them. Oops. Now here at 16, man, Kyler Murray. They got a lot of interesting pieces. They lost their corner. They need a corner, I think, and I think that I would love for them to go receiver, but I just don't think, or ETN or Najee Harris. I just don't think it's really worth it. I think if you had Hopkins, they have Christian Kirk, two very solid receivers at that position. They could go with an interior guy with a very Tucker. Let's see what tackles we got on the board. I mean, they could go with the kid out of Texas, Cosme. So I don't know. I think there could be a lot of guys. They could go with an edge guy, but they went with defense last year. So man, there's just so many freaking different ways they could go here. Man, crazy stuff. I think they got to go. I think they'll probably end up going corner here, as my bet. With the Newsome out of Northwestern, he played against. He played really well against Olave in the championship, or not during the season. So I think that would probably be either they go him or Farley. I think they'll end up probably going with Farley if he makes it this far. I think they'll go with him. Now the Raiders, man, this is 100%. I think that if the Raiders, if Mac Jones is on the board, I could see them trading up to get Mac Jones. So if Mac Jones is in this situation, man, I could see them 100%, 100% taking Mac Jones. I just that's who the Raiders are. I mean, nothing more than that. Now Miami here, like I said, if I could 100% see them going offense with Najee Harris or ETN in this situation, but I could also see them going defense, man, because they got a receiver. You know, I think their running backs played really well last year. Just like crazy, and so I don't know. I think there's a lot of different places they could go here. I think if they lost again. They cut Van Noy, which I think was a big staple part of their defense. The back end is great. Linebackers are all right. Let's look at their needs here. See what they got here. Miami needs receiver, tackle, running back, corner. You know, based on their needs here, I think they're more likely to go running back here at the 18 spot. Najee Harris, ETN, man, two, you can't go wrong. I think you got to go with the familiarity with Najee Harris and Tua. So I think that's what they're going to go here. Now the Washington football team, man, there's a lot of things, places there can go here. You would never thought that they'd make the playoffs and they'd be at 19 here. I thought honestly, the probably front office thought they'll be picking a lot earlier, probably taking a quarterback with Ron Rivera. But again, if Mac Jones makes it this far, I could see them taking Mac Jones. They need a linebacker. They need a receiver big time. I think if you put somebody with McLaurin here at 19 with McLaurin or somebody like that, I think that would be great. Again, it just all depends on how people are graded and what their needs are. I think Bateman would be a good pick for them. Again, even running back wouldn't be a bad idea. Cosme wouldn't be a bad idea. So, I mean, there's just a bunch of different places that could go here. Man, I just they don't have a quarterback yet, so I'm not sure if they want to take a receiver. They don't need interior guys with Barmore. They already got a pretty good edge. Could go corner, I think, with Newsome, possibly. But I think also they need to protect their quarterback here. So at the end of the day, I think they'll actually, based on their needs here, I would probably go with Darman Davis out of Kentucky. This guy, man, is sideline to sideline, crazy dude, man. All right, here at number 20, Chicago. A lot of different ways to go here. As they drop, as you keep going farther down, there's so many different variables and different stuff that people can do here. Based on hopefully I can get the first 15 relatively right. It will probably not be right because I think this draft will be crazier than any other draft we've seen in a while. Based on their needs here, they need a quarterback, corner, offense tackle, receiver, and tackle. Man, defensive tackle. I think you either got to go Bartmore or Newsome here. Chuck Pagano's defense. They do need offensive help, personally, but I think they got some young receivers that they can develop. Andy Dalton's okay. They still need a quarterback, so I think they're going to continue to build that defense and have another corner with with Farley's brother here, and I think that's what they got to go here with. Oops, I took the wrong guy. Hang on here. Let me. I mean, they could go here, but let's see here if I can fix this. Close. All right, hang on here real quick. We're going to restart this. Oh, and go back. Sorry, guys. We had Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Kyle Pitts, Sewell, Jamar Chase. Did we go with Slater? No, we went with Devonte Smith. Then we went Slater. Then we went Micah Parsons. And then we went Surtain. Number 11, I'm blanking. Waddle. I think we had Justin Fields. 13, Darsaw. 14, I think we had Horn. Orwasu. And at 16, I think we had Newsome. Do we have Newsome? No, we had Farley. That's what we had. We had Farley. And at 17, we had Mac Jones. 18, we had, let's see here. Mac Jones. Then we had 18, we had Najee Harris. 19 at Washington, we had, man, I'm blanking. Let's see, based on their team needs. Oh, we went with Davis, Kentucky. Yep. And at 20, we wanted to go with Newsome. All right, there we go. Sorry, guys, about that. All right, so then at 21, here are the Colts, man. Colts lost Justin Houston. They need another pass rusher. I think if this Georgia kid, can you get to him, I think they'll take him. They have a really good offensive line. I could see Bateman possibly going with them because think about, you'd have I think you would have possibly T.Y. Hilton. Need some weapons for Carson Wentz, but I think they'll end up going with this edge guy, man. He's a really good player. Need somebody who's going to be a good pass rusher, and so I think somebody who can help out a little bit. That defense was really good. It kind of fell off late, but I think if there's a corner there, they'll take one. But I think at this situation, you're best off taking this kid here. Now 22 at Tennessee here. Tennessee is going to be tough, man. They got a couple holes to fill. They lost Corey Davis. They need a tight end. They lost Jonnu Smith. They need a lot of positions that they can fill. I think if Bateman's there, they're going to take him, just because I think that offense rolls around, Derrick Henry, and I think off the play action, somebody in the slot or outside of A.J. Brown can really help out with that defense. I could see him also going with Collins out of Tulsa, possibly, or Mooring out of TCU, who's another great player. There's just a lot of different ways they can go here, but I think with losing Corey Davis and how well he played last year, I think they're going to miss him, and I think they'll go with Bateman, who's somewhat similar, big physical receiver. So that's what I would go with. Now the Jets, again, here, lots of needs for the Jets. They need a tackle here, so Cosme would be a makes sense. They could, again, also go with, like I said, I really like the Collins kid out of Tulsa, another really good player. Their coach is all about defense, though, too, as well. But I think with them getting Zach Wilson, they need to protect him. So Vera Tucker would be another very good spot for him to go on the interior because of the kid they took last year out of Louisville was a tackle. So I think, again, many different ways. But if Bartmore's there at 23, an interior guy, they lost Leonard Williams. So I think based on, let's go one more time for their needs. They need tackle, linebacker, running back. I mean, they could go again running back with ETN, linebacker, offensive tackle, corner. I don't know, man. There's a lot of different things. I do like ETN, but they might go with this kid out of Texas. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways they can go here. But you know what? I think ETN wouldn't be a bad pick. So I think I'm going to go with ETN just because of the way they're going to put some weapons around Zach Wilson. And I think a receiver could possibly go here, but I think ETN would be a good pick. All right, Steelers. Now they got two running backs was already taken before them, which I don't think they're going to like that because I think that's one of their biggest needs that they're going to need to fill. Man, they need an offensive center. So Humphrey wouldn't be a bad pick. They need a tight end. They need an edge guy. A lot of different things. I think based on their needs, and I think Creed Humphrey at Oklahoma wouldn't be a bad pick. So I think I'm going to go with him. Coming down, Jacksonville, again, going to have lots of needs with Urban Meyer. Going to start off. Urban Meyer's an offensive guy. He's gonna like that. So I think at possibly here based on their needs, I think man, Baltimore's there, man. I think they'll end up taking him. He's too good to slide, so I think they need somebody there. So I think they'll go with that. Man, sorry about that. All right, so then the Browns here. The Browns is the Browns. You know what I'm saying? So here, let's see here. What do we think that they're going to take here? Browns can take a lot of different people. The Browns, edge guy. They got Clowney, linebacker. Oh, yeah, I think I got to go linebacker here. I think if Baltimore drops them, they'll take him, but I think they'll go with this kid out of I think I'd definitely go with Collins, man. He's just a stud. Really like him. Now Baltimore, I think Baltimore will take Collins if the Browns don't get him before. Like I said, be looking for them to trade up. They got those two picks back to back. Wouldn't surprise me if they trade this one away. If somebody wants to come in to take a receiver or take a safety or somebody like that, I think they lost a lot of guys. So if this pass rusher out of Miami, Wasu, I don't know how to say his name, or even this guy out of Penn State, I would take the edge guy out of Miami. I think he's a little bit better player. Now the Saints, man, they need some help. Let's look at their needs here. The Saints need receiver, linebacker, corner, tackle, safety. I could see him, man, going with this Mollering kid. He's a really good player. I could see him going with Tooney, man. He's a Sean Payton likes weapons, and I think that would probably be their best bet. I think him out of Florida, I think that would be a great pick for them. So I think I could see Sean Payton getting his eyes real wide with having a speed guy like him, a small guy. Sean Payton's going to use him on reverses and little nippets there. So I think that's what he's going to pick there. Now Green Bay, man, I don't like. Man, they're so unpredictable. Green Bay can do a lot of different things here. They need a tackle. What else do they need here? Not a lot of stuff in free agent. See, tackle. Man, they could do a lot of different things here. I can't remember if they signed Lindsley. I don't think they did. So I think the guard here wouldn't be a bad pick. So I think they're going to go Veratuka or Cosme. It'd be nice to see if a receiver dropped to them, but probably not. So I think I'm going to go with Veratuka. If he's a really good player. I think if he drops this far, then they'll take him. All right, our last three picks here. We got Buffalo here. Sorry about that. Buffalo here, man. really good team. They're really close, I think, to being in the Super Bowl. Just need experience. Very young team. But again, this Payne kid out of Michigan is another good player. The kid out of Texas, again, you can't go wrong. They don't need safety. They could go receiver with Marshall. Dawkins is a pretty good left tackle. If they need a right tackle, they could go with one of these two guys. But I think they're gonna go defense. I think they're gonna go with Payne. They need an elite edge guy. I think I'm gonna go with him. Again, they just took an edge guy. They might. I could see them taking an offensive guy. I could see them taking Marshall here. I could see them taking another receiver, a little bit of stretch. But also, it wouldn't surprise me here if they could take another pass catching tight end here. The kid out of Penn State, another good player. But man, there's a lot of good players here still. Cosme is another tackle they could do based on their needs here. Edge, receiver, offensive tackle. So I think they're going to end up going with Cosme here. I think see if they can move him back over to right tackle and see how he does. All right, the Bucs here, man. The Bucs, man, they could go a lot of different places. Based on their needs here, they need a edge guy, running back, tackle, offensive guard, corner. I mean, they could go a lot of different places. They could use an edge guy, but they shine Shaquille, JPP still there. Vita Vea, man, best probably front seven in the NFL. If a corner drops, they could take one of these late corners here. They could take a safety. They could take another receiver. They could take a running back. I mean, depending on whether they sign Lenny or not here. So let's see here. What do we think that they're going to take, man? This is just a bunch of that Elijah Moore kid's good. The North Carolina kid's good. Defense, man. I mean, based on what they don't need a lot. Again, they don't really need anything on offense. I'm probably going to go with this edge guy out of Texas. So, full results here. So, again, guys, here is the full snapshot of what we got. So, we got, again, if you guys want to do this not my best one. I don't think. I didn't feel like very good, but it might end up being good. I'm not sure. We're going to find out here on Thursday to see how good it is and see how well we can do here. And there's just so many different ways teams can go based on so many variabilities. So this is my little mock draft just for fun. Hopefully I'm right. Hopefully if I'm wrong, I don't care. I mean, I'm not losing anything from it, but again, thanks guys for watching. And if you like some of this content, like what I'm doing here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video. Until then, see you.